All right, dudes, let's start with the positivity of my round results video here. And that is, we got my wish. That is a beautiful pun. I didn't even realize I was going to make that wish, but I didn't send the email in, for those that will be asking. But Wishart got his try assist. They actually just clearly missed it. They gave Hughes 4 in the end, so I thought Wishy's one was just very, very straightforward. He passed it out into space with a decoy runner and, yeah, didn't get the try assist, but they fixed that up. And they gave him his assist, so he went up from 34 to 41, which makes it look so much better. And just a really nice base stat game with that try assist now. 34 to 41, as we know, is such a massive difference there. Along with Harry Grant's 29, all the way up to 41. It was pretty gross that he was sitting at 29, but an extra 1 point overnight as well. And that saved my score a little bit, and I didn't lose a tremendous amount of ranks, given I was 13-30 leading into this week. I'm out to 18-18 now in my overall rank with a 738. Played with 16 this week, had to make 3 trades, and there was some okay scores across the board. Obviously, Garrick's injury was a shocker. We had Hughes' 58, Campbell 61, Drinky's 53, Cotter with his 65, Plathy 53, Samuela Fainu there with a 40, Marshall King's 44 was average, and then my bench was also fairly average, to be fair, with Blory. His 37, Brayley, happy enough with his 37. Wishy's 41, Grant's 41 there. So, no real massive hits this week. And obviously had Aiken as my vice-captain. Unfortunately, with Fafita going down, couldn't play the 17. And, for those that don't have Fafita, that obviously really helped as well. Missing out on his score. And, it might have been another, say he gets a 60. 14 points, add that on for the captaincy, plus that 60 points there. It's an extra 70-odd, and I'm into the 800 range, and I'm at least holding ranks or potentially making a few there. So that is my round 15, and obviously looking forward into next week. I've had a little muck around with my team already, and I've got Drinky in there as my looper for now, and we'll see how, currently the easiest way to do this is see how Wishy goes there, given I've got the half and the wing fullback cover as well. So if he goes well, then we'll keep his score, and then we'll muck around from there. But I do have the one extra this week. I'll Galvin in there if he gets named. If Fafita gets named as well, then we have that one extra from the full 13, which is really, really nice. Exactly what I was hoping for, and it's not the end of the world. Obviously, points wise, it's not great, but in terms of me having cover in the wing fullback position this week, Garrick's being out this week isn't the end of the world, and I'll be holding on to him, making sure he's good to go for 18, 19, 20 and the rest of the season. So I've got the 13 on the park. Hopefully that's enough this week without getting a Tedesco. I think we're going to just leave things as they are and keep myself with the 6 trades and be able to use them for 17, 18, 19 to a week if it happened to be that way. And hopefully it doesn't come to that. But in a pretty solid position. Obviously, with the 4 Dolphins at this stage, my goals going forward would be to, unless Hammer was to be rested, from round 17 and Fuller was to play again, Fuller will be leaving my side in round 17 and, should be fine for that, given we'll have, actually we might not. We'll have to, we might have to bring in another wing fullback, to be fair, given we are going to be missing Campbell for round 17. We'll have Garrick out and obviously Fuller out as well. So, it's something we'll definitely have to look at for round 17. But at this point, we will, we'll see what's happening in that front. But, that's where we're at for this week. Pretty solid overall. Let's get into the rankings. First off, there. I'm obviously, moved out to 1,800 there and am 703 points behind first, which isn't ridiculous. But as I was saying last week, it's very easy to go up and down the rankings there when, I'm at 12,127. Down at 50 is 12,568. It's only 500 points, 540? 540 points there, 530 points there behind I am from 50th overall, which is, it's obviously expanded this week, given I was 1,300, and these kind of guys like Kushla, congrats to you, 916 this week. Patrick had a solid score at 811, kept his spot in second there, and then Christian, 751, Fred at 890, and then Mark rounds out the top 5 for 867. Congrats to all you guys there. Loving Kai's name there. I miss Georgie Rose. We all miss George Rose, that's for sure. Yeah, Benji's Busters, some decent little names in there. Feel Good's Chins. God, tough times. Sean Johnson OnlyFans still sticking up top there. Good stuff. Jack McRanger, Ethical Fantasy Squad. That's nice. Yeah. Matty John's Wannabes, the Cherry Errands. Schnackenhausen, good stuff. Love that. Yeah. Haven't caught a clue. That's a good one in there as well. So that's the overall rankings for now. And may as well, while we're here, have a look at Kushler's position heading into round 16 there. So has Adam Fanor, Blake Plath, Fainu Fafita for 4, Strange Hughes 6, Aiken 7, Weeks 8, Stefano Campbell, Marnie, Galvin 11, King 12. So would have been 13 with Garrick. So yeah, still a really good position there for Kushler. And we'll obviously find out some more information on footy stats with the team analyzer to see, trades left and thing going on from there. But that's the rankings for the week. Shout out to Scoop, who did beat me this week by 30 in round 15 there. Each beat me as well, another 20. She lost a few ranks, and then my brother 724. So they're all pretty close. No one in the 800s. No one had a cracking week in that sense. From the private group, we've got Liam up top, sitting in a really good position at 48th, made it into top 50. We're rooting for you, Liam, that's for sure. Mitch is in 85th, still a solid week at 781. Bevan with an 801 into 106. Don at 135 with a good score this week, and Nikki at 338 overall. So we've got 4 there in the top 150, a really, really good position for the boys there, and hopefully they can keep moving up in that private group, which will be fun. Moving on to my little head-to-heads, I unfortunately lost the 2 that I'm in, and unfortunate for that. I'm still second. Well, I've moved into second for the JBFA head-to-head there in that scenario, which is good. The seeded league getting beat on a week-to-week basis, unfortunately, but that's obviously not the most important part for my overall side, that's for sure. But we move into the podcasters, and Lucy moved well ahead with an 847, beat me by well over 100 there. And yeah, the overall team for the amateurs boys moved into that 3rd spot. So I've got a little bit of work to do after losing some spots there. Stu catching up to me as well with an 815, and is only just under 30 points behind now. And Clint moving up as well with Dom. So yeah, I've got some work to do to get back into 3rd, and still at 230 points behind Dan, and 340 points behind Austin there. So plenty of work to do. I think they're fairly well set up for this round 16 as well, but obviously trades will become a factor, and I'll be looking at those trade numbers there in the team analyzer section of footystatistics.com. But that's just the kind of big news there in terms of points for this week. Most of the guys beat me there, to be honest with you. It doesn't show it now, but they're all sitting of 738. They're all 800, 780, 790, that kind of range. Dan was 767. Austin was 747. We were kind of the lowest of the podcasters league for sure, but still sitting in a solid spot at 4th there. So yeah, it's probably the biggest news on my side. Obviously looking to not make trades this week, guys. Also, I will be going live tonight on the YouTube channel. It has been a while since I've done this, but 6:30 p.m. Sydney time. I'm going to schedule that in, so you'll see it on my page there that it's scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Sydney time, which means 8:30 in New Zealand. Hopefully that's not too late for you guys there, and Fiji and those countries there. And yeah, if you're around the world, there's some in England and stuff like that. Hopefully it suits, or you can watch that back later. But I'll jump on and we'll have a good chat around Origin, obviously implications around would you be selling certain Origin players. Also talking about, would you be, I suppose what the Origin game in general, and how we think that's going to go, and then any potential trades you want to be making or trade strategy stuff. I'd really love to delve into that, but we'll or just life questions, whatever you want to get into. We'll do that tonight at 6:30 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. Good to have you guys back. I'll probably be in the hoodie because it's fairly cold in our place right now up the coast of New South Wales. But that is my team. I think there's probably not much else to say on it at this stage of the year. Let's move to the Supercoach side now, and I think focus on that because really I'm not going to make any trades. There's no point talking about guys who might be looking to sell. Like, I'm not super happy with Blaw's scores at the moment. Garrick's obviously a little bit of an issue just this week. Brayley, we can hold off until next week and make a decision on him then. He will be playing at least. That's a positive. It's hard to get 17 on the park at the moment, but P. Kura's 28. He gained a couple of points there, so the rest of the guys are pretty stock standard and good to go. And maybe not getting Cook in the end might be good for 17. But my Supercoach team, as I said, I captained Ruben Garrick. So that 9 times 2 wasn't very nice at all. And then Isaac Tungal was 41, lost me 691 ranks this week. And heading into this round, I did have 20 trades remaining. I've used a couple, and that's just trying to get Tedesco in right now. But let's just have a look at my squad last week and kind of explain what was happening, because it was sitting pretty good, to be fair. I had Aiken, Osako with 52 and 51, not the end of the world. Drinkwater and Holmes, 89, 72, was good. Willison's 45, Coruscant's 58, pretty solid. Fermor a bit down, is what it is. But Hughes and Katoa, really massive in that one there, 108 and 88. Held on to Crichton, so that was awesome to get his little burst of scores in the back end of that game there. 100 for him. 82 for Brown with the try was great. Walker's 52, not the end of the world. Tunga's 41, Iro 62, Talangi 43, Terrell May 27. I didn't play Strange or Smithies for their 60 and 49, and then Jaden Brayley's 36 with Garrick 9 times 2. So that kind of cooked me. If he went out and did well, 70, 75 or something like that, then we're at a very different story, sitting at 1150 or something like that. So that's my team, unfortunately, for that week. And it's sitting in there with Garrick being out. I do have 14 available, and the trades I've just had a quick look at potentially making was getting Tedesco into the side there, and that's in place of Blaze Talangi there. And Crichton actually moves down to Max Plath to service that move, given I needed some cash available there. That's the just general gist of me at the moment. Coming out of this week, I've moved things around. Coruscant, I got Terrell, May, Curran, Hughes to make 4. Fafita, Katoa, Fermor, 7. Plath is 8. Smithies, 9. Hughes and Walker, 11. Galvin, 12. Then we've got Aiken, Osako, Strange to make 15. And then Tedesco makes 16. I've got him as the captain right now. And Jerome Hughes, the vice, given they play in that first game of the week. So I think he's the safest to play and plug into that vice captaincy position. And then we can muck around with obviously the loop. Well, everyone can. It's as simple as that. This week, given it's the best 13 scorers out of the 18 that you could select with the auto emergency, for example, there. So there we go. That is the current position that we are at with my team there. And let's quickly look in at the leagues that you may be following along with. The private group, sitting there in 5th myself there, after not losing any spots on the ladder. The head-to-head squad, which you'll see later in the vid, is that it got picked up 1,086. Doesn't have Garrick, but captained like Adam Fennell-Blake, which was average, but better than Garrick. Only gained 158 spots, but everyone else around me kind of lost spots, unfortunately, except for Dave with 1,125, making some ranks there. And second there, with basically halving his rank from 15k to 7.5 with the 1333. Very, very big score there on that one. Unfortunately, I lost ranks in the Podmasters overall, so a few people improving, a few people going backwards there as well. So I know Brandon captain Garrick, so that would have been absolutely heartbreaking for him there, being 13th overall, to thankfully not lose too many spots. But what was looking like a pretty good round, getting into 1,200 type of range, unfortunately wasn't to be. But some big scores. Dominic there with a 2,800 overall, moved down to 767, so that was really, really good there. And then guys that we might be following, Brian there, NL Physio, 1,100. He's moved into 1,400 overall. Trent Copes with 1,000. What else we got there? Coming down the list, you're finding Tim Moody, 891, a really tough one for him after being in a pretty good position at 2,200. Hopefully a bounce back. Then we've got Guru at 987. Not great. Loses a chunk of spots there, unfortunately, into 8,000th. And then we've got Timmy, the Kuma Stallions, unfortunately out at 12,500. So yes, I am still ahead of more than half of the Podcasters League, but something I want to be improving on, obviously, with 20 trades remaining. And I do think that I'm going to have a big score this week, most likely, and hopefully, if I can get my captaincy right. But that's that position there. I unfortunately lost my Podmasters seeded 2 game there against Maximania, who is the Whisperer. So there you go. That's that one there. All right, let's move on to the head-to-head team for both the Fantasy and Supercoach. 774 in the head-to-heads team there. So end up pretty solid, obviously, in terms of, holding ranks, I suppose. The big thing here was playing with 17, which we weren't able to do. Obviously had Garrick's 5 and Fafita there as captain. I didn't want to go in and use too many trades, which, we end up vice captaining Tol Harris as well, which didn't work out too well, unfortunately. Again, I didn't expect him to go straight to the bench again, but that's the role that they're playing him at the moment. I did make 2 trade-ins, and they worked out tremendously well, and thank goodness I did make those trades. So that's Campbell and Tedesco. They both came in, and Tedesco end up being an absolute godsend scoring-wise, and he gets picked and playing this week, so very, very happy with that. Manu didn't perform very well. Same with Blore, obviously. The Tohul captaincy, a little bit under what Aiken provided, but Hands 43, really, really good. Nikarov 73. So to have some scores like that, Wishy's 41 as well, was solid. Drinky and Iro with 50, 53 and 50, and then Dylan Brown's 54. Should have been a little bit of a better score than that, but yeah, a lot of teams came out there and performed better than myself, that's for sure. So we've got a couple of things to sort of move around and sort out here. So Reid Marnie will come into the hooking slot there in that one. We have Cotter to come out of there, and Maxi King comes back, so we're good in the mids. For Feeder, we keep him there for now. Nikora moves out for Blore. We got Brownie to come out for... Who else we got? Galvin. Yay, Galvin's going to play. Thank goodness. All right, Talangi and also Iros. We've got Manu to come in. And unfortunately for us, Garrick was going to be our other centre, and that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So let's move Campbell in. We need to move Garrick with Tedesco. All right, so what we're dealing with there, unfortunately, now is just the one out. So centre. And do we want to do that? That's going to be our big question. So let's have a look at our leagues and obviously how we performed, and then what we need to do over the next bunch of weeks to get things sorted. So in my head-to-head here for the JBFA private group, I'm in 8th. So I'm in a very dire spot there. We don't have any games this week or round 19 as well. So there's only a couple of fixtures left to get things right for this, for that league there for sure. But the Gargarov, unfortunately, lost by 3. That's so rough. There on that front. Even the Wishy try assist didn't help us out. But won the next one. Serrato sucks. He doesn't suck as much anymore. But 6 in the Kings Cup. 2nd in League of Legends. Got a win there. Got a win in Liam's League, which was nice. Into 6. Got a win in the Stay Dangy there. Amateurs League, I picked up a win there, which is nice, into 6. So we're at least in a spot in the top 8 for everything but the Gargarov. So yeah, I suppose that's positive in that front. But we do need and have a couple of more, plenty of league games in this round 16 clash. So we do need to, make sure that we continue to get wins. And in that scenario, we're only missing out on a couple of leagues. So basically, I think this week coming up, one trade to pick up someone that can play in that center position. Obviously, Aiken is someone on that list, but we have 7K in the bank, and Aiken is very expensive. So really, when we're looking at our non-players this week, Garrick's one of them. We have Drinky, Blaze Talangi at 455. Like, if he sticks in that team, he'll be pretty important around 19, to be fair, what I was looking at with Talangi there. Cole could be a trade out. Nikora, probably not trading him out after a 73. So it might end up being just a play with 12 kind of scenario. Given I've got 6 trades remaining, it's that's not the worst decision out there. Iro, I don't think we're selling. Plays around 19 as well. So it's a pretty tough situation for trade this week, unless we find out anything weird in team list coming up. I think that it almost could be a holding week and just play with 12 and hope that we can win with 12 on the park. Having Tedesco, having Manu, having Reid Marnie, I think that helps, like having Fafita as well. I think we've got a good enough, group of players with Wishart and Campbell out there as well that we could probably still win a head-to-head in this scenario. So, yeah, that's where we're at on that one. I'll probably leave the head-to-head side of things there. Probably holding trades is the best thing to do. If we can maximize trades in those finals weeks, that's probably what I'd be looking to do here, in my opinion. I'll have a look further at round 17 and how that's going to look. Obviously, with Campbell out, with Garrick out, we have Drinkwater returning. We'll have Blaze Talangi returning next week. So that's some good coverage across those two, thankfully. And Iro will return. Wishart, Teddy, Manu will still play next week. That'll be good there on that front. So, yeah, missing Fafita, Campbell, Garrick next week. Not the end of the world. So, yeah, we probably can just play with 12 and we'll be fine for next week. So that's that. And thankfully, the only positive here of the week was that of my head-to-head team. And I've obviously been speaking to you guys about needing to get wins. I'm into 3,400 overall, but that's not the goal of the head-to-head. It's to win these matchups. And as I said, thankfully, wants me to sign up for SC Plus. I already have it, mate, but with another account. Thankfully, we got some wins. And the first league here that I lost, obviously, the public league, but not the ones that matter. Garrick is captain as well. So I was like, oh, if Garrick goes bonkers, I'll at least be happy. Yeah, that would have determined the win, basically, if he went like 100, and I would have been very happy for my team. But as soon as he went down, I was like, oh, well, I've won the head-to-head, because I was thinking about maybe making a trade for the last game there to potentially make sure I win that matchup. And the other one, it looks like this person unfortunately stopped playing, which really helped me out, get a good win, but moved into 12th and 13th. And I think I'm in I have one extra win in the first one here, and we actually play this week as well. The positioning I'm at in that is only really a couple of points outside of like the top 6, 2 to 3 points outside of the top 5. So if I can get a win this week, 12th v 14th, that will go a long way to getting me into that 8 or close to it after this week. And I do have a bye in the other matchup. But looking at my side there, coming into this week as well, I've mucked around with things. I actually have like 17 players if everyone kind of gets together. Dom Young, Fafita, if they all get back and play, that'll be sweet. But obviously I did make a trade for Nafahu White last week, and yeah, it didn't work out as good as I'd hoped. But I expect him and Terrell May to get good minutes this week, especially with Watson out as well, to hopefully get some good scores for us. I don't even have enough to pop a 17th player, or to pop the 5th reserve on SJ at this point with how many of these guys I've got to plug and play. So yeah, that's the situation it's in at the moment. I should be able to get a win in that league this week, and with sort of 6 or 7 rounds to go, get things sorted and get on a bit of a run to make sure I can make the finals. And then this head-to-head team will be fun, at least during the final series, and that's my goal, to get in them and hopefully claw my way back to some wins and use some trades along the way to get there. And hopefully all of the other teams in the competition have used a lot of trades that even more than I have myself. I am seeing a lot of people on like 12, 13, 14, 15, that kind of range there. So 18 is pretty good in that sense. 20 in my overall team. Very happy with that. And it's basically almost 2 a week now. We've got 11 rounds for 20 trades in that side, and 18 for the 11 rounds here. So yeah, we'll be trying to get Tedesco as well in this one here with Armstrong and Blaise Talangi, most likely there. And we'll get a tremendous amount of play. I think if I was to make those 2 trades, it'd be like 17 on the park, which is just ridiculous. And it'll be enough it should be enough to win this week. I think just want to confirm that win and get guys that are going to be suitable longer term as a head-to-head player. And Tedesco is going to be one of those guys, and we'll probably nuff out with a player, a cheapie that plays this week that probably isn't going to be playing longer term. It's likely where we're going to go. Or, I was going to say nuff out with like Fletcher Sharp, but he's just a fullback, so that makes it tough. But yeah, that's where we're at across all the teams, guys. I hope that this video obviously helps you, and I'm keen to see you guys all tonight at 6:30 p.m. Sydney time. I'll get that scheduled up there, and so you can see that, and I'll try and get on straight on the dot at 6:30. So thanks for being here, guys. We'll catch you in the next video as always.